again. Welcome back. Welcome to your new class, class 539. Almost 540. We have 62 classes left. This class plus another 61 classes. Yeah. So we still have a lot of classes left. Shall we continue after class 600? Marta, do you want to continue after class 600? Marta wants to continue. I'm not sure if I want to continue. What do you think? Should we continue? What's your opinion? Give us your opinion. Give me, Television Spanish, give us your opinion. Should we continue? I mean, if we continue, I'll finish these books and I will do other things. But I'm not tired. I enjoy doing these classes. I'm tired of the lights, but I enjoy doing these classes. Do you enjoy receiving the classes? Do you think the people enjoy the classes, Marta? You think so? She's nodding her head. All right. Marta's a very lucky girl. She has free English classes, not only with me, but with other teachers as well. All right, so she's receiving a lot of English every day. You know, you receive maybe 2 hours, 3 hours of English every day. Yeah? In the end, she begins to understand the language well. Different accents, Australian accents, Canadian accents, Texas accent, etc. Although I don't really have a Texas accent. All right, let's continue with Learn to Speak Up, list number 2 on page 74. All right, list number 2. ¿Por qué no les gustará? Why won't they like it? You say they're not going to like it. No les va a gustar. ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué no les gustará? Why won't they like it? O por qué no les va a gustar? Why aren't they going to like it? Why aren't they going to like it? They won't like it. No, they won't like it. Why not? Because I know them, and they won't like it. I mean, you want to teach English wearing a cowboy hat. It's not going to work, Richard. They won't like it. No les gustará. A tus amigos de Televisión Española, no. If you put on a cowboy hat, they won't like it. They'll say, Richard, please, take off the hat. It distracts the viewer, the student. It distracts the student. So they won't like it. I guarantee you, they won't like it. No les gustará, ya verás. They won't like it. ¿Y por qué no sería aconsejable? Why won't it be advisable? Mucho futuro aquí. Why won't it be advisable? It won't be advisable. It's not advisable. Why not? ¿Y por qué no querrías algo así? Why wouldn't you want some? Look, I'm offering you a free car. I'm offering you a Bugatti for free. I mean, you know how much a Bugatti is worth? Do you know the price of a Bugatti? No. Well, a Bugatti car costs about €500,000 at least. Sometimes €1 million. And I'm giving it to you for free. Yeah. Why won't you want it? Why don't you want it? ¿Por qué no querrías algo así? Why wouldn't you want something like that? Because, I mean, thank you for the thought. Thank you for the idea of giving me a car, a Bugatti. Wow. But I don't have the money or the time to take care of it. I need to park it. I need to find a place to park a Bugatti. And the parking garages will not accept a Bugatti. Why not? For example, where I live, there's a public parking garage, car park, underground. And I can rent a parking place, no problem. But not with a Bugatti. Because if there's a Bugatti permanently parking in the parking garage, it's dangerous for the other cars because people will come to look at the Bugatti or maybe try to steal it. So it's a problem. And I don't have a personal garage. Second, the insurance for a Bugatti is very, very high. Because if it's... Third, if the Bugatti is damaged, It's very, very expensive, the parts and components. So it's very expensive. Third, just to maintain it, there are not many repair shops in this country that can repair a Bugatti. So it's a big problem. It's a headache. Now, if you give me the Bugatti, I really appreciate it, but the following day I'm going to sell it. And I'm going to sell it for $500,000. It costs $1 million. I'll sell it for $500,000, so I'll find a buyer quickly. All right. ¿Por qué no sería aconsejable? ¿Por qué no querrías algo así? Why wouldn't you want something like that? All right. ¿Por qué no pudiste ir? ¿Por qué no pudiste ir? Why couldn't you go, or why weren't you able to go? Why couldn't you go? Well, I couldn't go because I didn't have time. Why couldn't you go? ¿Por qué no se ha hecho? Voz pasiva. ¿Por qué no ha sido hecho? ¿Por qué no se ha hecho? Why hasn't it been done? Why hasn't it been done? Well, I don't know. Marta, why hasn't it been done? Johnny, what's the problem? Why hasn't it been done? It was clear it needed to be done, but nobody did it. ¿Por qué no se ha hecho ya? Why hasn't it been done yet? Why hasn't it been done? It hasn't been done because we haven't had time to do it. It's simple. We have other more important things to do. You want us to clean the floor and to rearrange everything and to tidy up the room. This television, the studio, it's a mess. That table is a mess. Yeah. Over there, it's a mess as well. And the mirror is dirty. We need to clean the mirror. Why hasn't it been done? Why hasn't it been done? And March says, calm down. Calm down. We have more important priorities for this week than to clean the mirror and to tidy up the table over there. Why hasn't it been done? Because it's not the priority this week. We have other more urgent and pressing matters to attend to. We have other more pressing, prescientes, means more urgent, pressing and urgent matters to attend to. ¿Por qué no se ha hecho? Why hasn't it been done? Well, it hasn't been done because it's not important enough. ¿Por qué no se hará? Why won't it be done? Mucha voz pasiva aquí. Why won't it be done? ¿Por qué no se está haciendo? Why isn't it being done? Why isn't it being done? ¿Por qué no se hace nunca? ¿Por qué no se hace nunca? Why is it never done? Or why isn't it ever done? Well, this is difficult. ¿Por qué no se hizo? Why wasn't it done? ¿Por qué no fue hecho? Why wasn't it done? Why isn't it being done right now? Why hasn't it been done lately? Why wasn't it done yesterday? Why won't it be done tomorrow? And these things. Okay. ¿Por qué no se hizo? Why wasn't it done? ¿Por qué no nos invitan nunca? Why don't they ever invite us? You know, our neighbors have every Saturday night, they have a party in their house. You know, and maybe 20 people come to the party. I can hear the party every Saturday night. It sounds like a fun party. Yeah. And we've been living next to each other, you know, for 10 years, and we have a very good relationship, but they never invite us to the parties. Why don't they ever invite us? I wonder why they never invite us. Why don't they ever? ¿Por qué nunca nos invitan? Digo yo. Why don't they ever invite us? I wonder. Maybe it's a strange party, Marta. Maybe strange things are happening. Maybe it's a secret party. I don't know. But they never invite us. ¿Por qué no deberíamos hacerlo? Why shouldn't we do it? I mean, it needs to be done. Don't do it. Don't do what? Don't clean that table. What needs to be cleaned? I'm specifically giving you an order I'm specifically giving you an order not to clean that table. But the table is filthy. Filthy means guarro de sucio. Filthy is super sucio. It's filthy. De hecho, forrado de dinero is filthy rich. Asquerosamente rico. Filthy rich. Filthy rich. But that table is filthy. It's filthy dirty. It should be cleaned. And we should clean it. Don't. Why not? Why shouldn't we clean it? ¿Por qué no deberíamos limpiarlo? Necesita ser limpiado. O limpiada, es una mesa. It's feminine, okay? Why shouldn't we clean it? Why shouldn't we clean it? Because I've told you not to. Porque os he dicho que no lo limpiéis. I've told you, why not? Because I've told you not to. Okay, that's enough. I'm the boss here. I run the show. I call the shots. And I've told you not to. That table, don't touch it. Leave it. It's filthy. I agree. But I'm specifically telling you right now not to clean it. It's not our priority, and it's not our job. It's the cleaning ladies. I'm going to speak to the head of General Services. And the General Service, it's the job of the General Services Department. It's not your job. All right, so, well, why shouldn't we clean it? Don't clean it. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we do it? ¿Por qué no ha sido confirmado el asunto? Why hasn't it been confirmed? It hasn't been confirmed yet. No? No, it hasn't been confirmed. No ha sido confirmado. La comida, por ejemplo, no ha sido confirmada. Why not? I don't know. Why hasn't it been confirmed? I don't know. Why hasn't it been confirmed? I mean, the lunch is in 1 hour, and it's an important lunch. I mean, they need to confirm it. Why hasn't it been confirmed? Vamos a decir de nuevo. ¿Por qué no ha sido confirmado? ¿Por qué no se ha confirmado? ¿Por qué no habrías hecho? Yo no lo habría hecho. I mean, de haber sido yo involucrado, yo no lo habría hecho. I wouldn't have done it. You wouldn't have done it. No, I wouldn't have done it. And why wouldn't you have done it? I wouldn't have done it. Listen, if you had been in I have a friend. Okay. I have a friend who has it's not a time machine. Una máquina del tiempo, to go back in time. I have a friend who owns a hamburger restaurant. A hamburger restaurant. Yeah, my friend owns a hamburger restaurant. Yeah? Okay, yes. Now, in the back of the restaurant, in the storage room, habitación de almacenamiento de hamburguesas y pan, etc., the storage room, there's a tile on the floor, una baldosa. Yeah? And when you stand on that tile, you are transported to 1962. 1962, yeah. Yeah, it's a time machine. It's like a time machine. And you're in the middle of the country, because in 1962 there was nothing here. This restaurant didn't exist. And it was a country with cows and sheep. Wow, yeah. And so my friend, he discovered this tile on the floor, and he realized that he could go back in time to 1962. And if he stood in the same place, in the middle of the country, he could come back to 2022 in the restaurant. So he could go back and forth. He could go back and forth. He could go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in time. And he made a decision. First of all, lo primero de todo, first of all, it was interesting. The restaurant, the hamburgers are delicious. And they're the cheapest. The hamburgers only cost 35 cents. 35 céntimos, una hamburguesa así. But do you know why? And it never changed. It's always the same price. All the other hamburgers are 2 euros, 3 euros, 5 euros, and it's 35 cents. And I asked my friend, I say, hey Sam, se llama Sam, how is it possible that your hamburgers are better than the others and they only cost 35 cents? Where do you get the meat? Well, the secret is when he went into the storage room and stood on that baldosa, on that tile, escrito tile, he went back to 1962 and he bought the meat for the hamburgers in 1962 and brought it back. So his costs were from 1962. He had a competitive advantage. He was buying the bread and the meat and the pickles and the onions, los pepinillos, and the onions and the lettuce and the tomatoes and the ketchup and the mustard and the mayonnaise from 1962. 60 years ago. All right. But he made a decision. Well, it's interesting. One day, I go to the restaurant every week. And I always see Sam. Hey, Sam, how's it going? Every week. And last week, I went to the restaurant. And Sam looked 30 years older. Yeah. And I said, Sam, my God, are you okay? He said, well, I have advanced cancer. Category 4. Wow. But Sam, last week you were perfect. You can't contract cancer and become almost die in only 1 week. He said, well, let me tell you a secret. And he took me to the storage room in the back of the restaurant, and he said, if you stand on that, you go back to 1962. And what happened was Sam went back to 1962 and spent a year and a half waiting for the Kennedy assassination because he wanted to kill Lee Harvey Oswald before Oswald could kill Kennedy. So basically, Sam wanted to try to change history. Do you understand? And during that year and a half, he contracted cancer. Yeah. But for today, the time was, he went back and stood on the place and boom, came back to 2022. But he had lived for a year and a half during that interval, momentary interval. And that was the case. So, he had a chance to kill Oswald. And it says, and I say, si yo hubiera ido atrás como tú, yo no lo habría hecho. Yo no habría intentado cambiar la historia. If I had gone back, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have tried to kill Oswald. Because you can't change history. History is history. You can't go back and change it. Because now I have children and you change history and I will have the same children. So I wouldn't have done it. ¿Por qué no lo habrías hecho tú? Why wouldn't you have done it? It's a long story for this sentence. Did you enjoy the story? To go back. What would you have done? If you had gone back to 1963, would you have tried to change history? In this case, in Dallas, Texas, etc. So, and things. All right. ¿Por qué no tiene nadie secretaria aquí? Nadie tiene secretaria en esta compañía. Why doesn't anyone have a secretary in this company? Why doesn't anybody have a secretary? Why doesn't anyone have a secretary? Because we don't need secretaries. We don't need personal assistants. Yeah, we have cell phones, we have internet, we have emails, we have WhatsApp. Se dice WhatsApp en inglés, no WhatsApp. WhatsApp. We have many things. We don't need personal assistants. Yeah. Why doesn't anybody have a secretary? ¿Por qué no vas con ellos? ¿Por qué no vas con ellos? Why don't you go with him? Why don't you go with them? They're inviting you. I don't want to go with them. Why not? Why don't you go with them? Because I don't want to go with them. What's the problem? Well, they're going skiing. They're going water skiing, ski acuático. They're going to a nearby lake. I don't know how to ski. But don't worry, they can teach you how to ski. Yeah, but a beginner, I mean, they are expert water skiers and I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to make a fool of myself. I don't want to make a fool of myself. Excuse me? I don't want to make a fool of myself. What does that mean? Que no quiero hacer el ridículo. O sea, no quiero hacer un tonto de mí mismo, literalmente. I don't want to make a fool of myself. Estás haciendo el ridículo. You're making a fool of yourself. Se dice mucho así. He's making a fool of himself. She's making a fool of herself. Yesterday you made a fool of yourself. Now, I don't want to go with him. Why don't you want to go? Why don't you go with him? ¿Por qué no vas con ellos? Why don't you go with him? Because I don't want to, okay? I don't want to. Porque no quiero, ¿vale? I don't want to, okay? Why not? Why don't you go? Because I don't want to make a fool of myself. I don't know how to water ski, and they are experts. So they will teach me, but they will probably laugh at me. You're too sensitive. Come on. Qué sensible. You're too sensitive. All right. ¿Por qué no lo pruebas? Come on. ¿Has comido lápiz alguna vez? ¿Has probado? Have you ever eaten a pencil? Never. Marta's never eaten a pencil. Try it. ¿Por qué no lo pruebas? Why don't you try it? If you don't try it, you don't know. It's good. It's really good. Yeah, you should try it. You should try, deberías. You should try it. Come on. Why don't you try it? Why don't you? Carmenchu, why don't you try it? You know, you're going to eat pencil with salt or without salt. Or you can put some pepper on it. It's a hot pencil. All right. Lápiz picante. Yeah, have you ever tried lápiz picante? We say pepper hot pencil. ¿Por qué no lo pruebas? Why don't you try it? ¿Por qué no cae el bien a nadie? Esto está bien en inglés. Esto sí que, this sentence is probably impossible for a Spaniard to translate it correctly. ¿Por qué él no cae bien a nadie? Claro. Why doesn't anyone like him? Es al revés en inglés. ¿Por qué nadie le aprecia? O sea, no es que él caiga bien, es que la gente le aprecia. Why doesn't anybody or why doesn't anyone like him? I mean, what's his problem? I mean, why doesn't anyone like him? He's bossy. Es muy mandón. He's bossy, like Marta. Marta's not bossy. You know, you're not a bossy person. Are you bossy with your husband? No. Is your husband bossy with you? Is your little boy bossy? Yes. Yeah, she said, she's going to, le va a estropear. He's a bossy little boy, right? Chico mandón. All right. Okay. That's her weak point, isn't it? All right. Bossy. Why doesn't anyone like him? ¿Por qué él no cae bien a nadie? Se lo decís un poco al revés. Un poco no, totalmente. Why doesn't anyone like him? All right. ¿Por qué no sería correcto? My Spanish is getting worse every day. Your English is getting better with me, and my Spanish is getting worse. ¿Por qué no sería correcto hacerlo así? Why wouldn't it be correct? It wouldn't be correct to call him now. Why not? It just wouldn't be correct to call him now. Well, why wouldn't it be correct? Why wouldn't it be correct? ¿Por qué no pasamos a otra lista ya? Esto sí que viene aquí. Why don't we go on to another list? I'm tired of negative questions. ¿Por qué no pasamos a otra lista ya? Por favor, por favor. Why don't we go on to another list? The next lists are interesting, eh? But that's for another day. Why don't we go on to another list? I don't have a bookmarker, Marta. I don't have a bookmarker. Why don't we go on to another list? We'll go on to another list. And what do we have now? Oh my God, the translation booklet. But we don't have time because we have less than 1 minute, right? Only a few seconds. We have only a few seconds left. How much time, Marta? Only a few seconds. So I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to go on. But I'm going to tell you that I hope you're enjoying this program. I hope your English is improving. More and more in the future, I will simply talk to you and make up little scenes or little role plays and things, like the one about going back in time to 1962 and bringing back the hamburger meat and the mustard and the ketchup and the pickles and the onions. All right. See you in the next class.